What's up, y'all? Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. This should be a quick video, just going to be going over some events and things coming up for this upcoming Friday, and then anything additional that's going to be going on in Raid, and then talk a little bit about if I'm going to be going for the Raphael. Still kind of on the cusp of that, so let's get into it. All right, so first things first, we do have events coming up this Friday. October 17th, they're planning on launching 3 simultaneous events. They're going to be launching a 2x on summoning epic and legendary champions from Void Shards. At the same time, they're launching a 10x for Shredder from Voids. Please note the duration of the 10x will be 1 day shorter than the duration of the 2x. So if you don't care about Shredder, just pull your Voids for 2x on the day that Shredder's not available for the 10x. So that way you have a lesser chance of getting Shredder if you don't need him. And then they're also planning on launching a champion chase tournament where you'll be able to get a perfect soul for Shredder and other valuable goodies. And so what'll happen is if you manage to take first place on the leaderboard in your specific group out of 50 players, then during the tournament, you'll earn Shredder's perfect soul. The higher your level, the higher the rank of the soul from Shredder if you get first place. So from level 1 to 41, the Shredder 3-star perfect soul, which you have to spend at least a minimum of 2,000 points in order to get the 3-star. So 2,000 points plus be in first place. From players that are level 42 to 64, you can get a shot at a 4-star perfect soul for Shredder, but you need to get a minimum of 3,000 points and still hit first place. And then lastly, players from level 65 to 100 get a shot at Shredder's 5-star perfect soul, and you do require a minimum threshold of 5,000 points, and you still have to take first place. So you're gonna have to hit well over the 5,000, 2,000, or 3,000 based on the Shredder perfect soul you're trying to go for. This is a bit of a bait event. If you're trying to save your shards for Leo, keep saving your shards. Don't pull for this 2x. If you're early game and you really don't have tons of shards, then this is a great time for you to pull your Void Shards for a 2x event, regardless of whether or not you do get Shredder. Shredder's a great champion for progression, and he's just good in general, but he's not a super great endgame character in my opinion. He's gonna be great for faction wars and PvE. Aside from that, for PvP, he's not as great from a meta perspective. He's not gonna be your greatest damage dealer, but if you're progressing throughout the game, he will be one of your stronger damage dealers. So kind of just depends on where you're focusing your time and where you're at in the game currently. So that does say additionally, they're going to have 300 pizza points up for grab for Ace Reporter Titan event. They really put the majority of the points locked behind the soul stones, locked behind the summoning events. Kind of insane, right? Because right now they have pizza points up for grabs behind this Hothead Deck of Fate. So essentially you need to pull all of these to get the full 100 points, or get extremely lucky to get the 100 points for the pizza points. So if you've skipped out already of 250 points, you have to get 1,500 points to get Ace Reporter. But if you've already gone past 100 point or 250 points that you didn't go for and skipped on another event, so yeah, you're probably going to be out of luck for that. So in regards to the Hothead Deck of Fate, okay, also, just to finish up that event for Friday, they're going to have it running for 72 hours, so basically throughout the weekend. So for the Hothead Deck of Fate, we do have Raphael. I do recommend if you're going to try to flip some of these, if you're early game or you're just starting out in this game, this event is not for you. You will not be able to do it without spending money in game. If you're a brand new account, you just won't be able to do this. You won't be able to get your hands on Raphael without spending a ton of money. At least $300 plus on Immortal or Mortal Soulstones, or even Eternal Soulstones. Because right now it's get artifacts and accessories or summon souls from Soulstones. This event is more so for spenders. This event is more so for players who are in the end game or have played for a long time in this game and have saved up an abundance of resources. So for myself, I've been playing this game for a very, very long time. This is my free-to-play account. I've been playing for roughly going on 6 years. Come November 14th, it'll be 6 years free to play. I have 188 mortals, 28 immortals, and 4 eternals currently on the account, with nothing really in the bank here to show for it, but I'll probably get another immortal So I'll be at 29 soon. But the thing is, the points were definitely reduced. So they were reduced from your typical Deck of Fates. So the Eternals are usually 4,500. The Immortals are usually 1,000. And the Mortals are usually 100 points each. But now they are 70 for Mortals, 700 for Immortals, and 3,500. So 1,000 down on the Eternals, 300 down on the Immortals, and 30 down on the Mortals. So they're taking about a 30% hit on each one of these stones. So that's big, right? That is really big of a hit on all these stones. So plus right here, if you're dungeon diving, you really want to farm at the lower stages. It's actually more beneficial for early game players to farm at a lower stage rather than a higher stage. You're going to sink in more energy into the higher stages like hard mode dragon, fire knight, tainted Fyro, so on and so forth. You don't want to farm the hard modes if you're just trying to get enough points to flip these cards. So for me, I actually ended up doing a little bit of Spider hard 10, and then afterwards I realized, oh shoot, I really shouldn't be doing that. If I want to get the most pizza points possible, I should be farming, let's say, stage 20 of dungeon normal. Or people have been saying that you could go in to the Shredders dungeon event here. I guess some people were saying that you could just farm stage 3 and the drops are really good and you could actually do it with even less energy and resources. But the trade-off is you're trying to push for the Raphael champion. Right? If you can't do it, then maybe you could do that, but you're not going to get any good gear on your account, right? You're only going to be trying to flip. So the goal would be to try to get at least 8 cards if you're really early game. 8 cards could potentially net you a chest here that's epic, which could give you one of these following rewards. You're going to want to try to get 500 gems, a sacred shard, or a mythical book. If you're early game, then a feast is not bad because it can instantly take a champion of yours up to rank 6. But in the end game, we are looking for a mythical tome, a sacred shard, or 500 gems. We don't really care too much about the Radiant Sun Lilies, the Soul Essence, or the mythical ore, or even the feast. However, I would say the feast would come after these 3. If I were to rank these, I would say I would personally want a mythical skill tome at this point on my account, then sacred shard, then gems in 3rd, then the feast in 4th, the Radiant Sun Lilies in 5th. Well, I could say that the Radiant Sun Lilies and feast could be interchangeable in a sense because I like to upgrade champions, use feast for champ training, but these are kind of interchangeable. Then it would be the Eternal Soul Coins and then, or Essence, and then the mythical ores. The mythical ore is definitely the worst out of the bunch. And then in terms of the rare chest, because you're able to pin on this one, personally, for the rare chest, you really want to get the Void Shard first. And if not the Void Shard, you're looking for the legendary skill tome second, then the 5-star chicken. Actually, instead of the chicken, I would go for the gems, then the chicken, then I would go for the Radiant Sun Lily, then the Essence, and then the Chaos Ore. The reason why I say the Void Shard first on this one instead of the legendary book is just because of the fact that Void Shards are so hard to come by in this game. So are Lego books. But honestly, Void Shards are so difficult and you really want Void Legendaries on your account. It's even valued higher in some cases, you could say, than a Sacred Shard. Why? Because if you can stockpile a ton of these bad boys, then on, for example, 2x's for this Friday, if you hit a legendary, maybe you could hit a couple of legendaries since it's 2x. So that's why I personally put Void Shards at a higher commodity, or a hot commodity, I would say, as compared to Sacreds these days. Sacreds are just better because of events and tournaments. And for Leo, Sacreds do grant you more points. So it depends on what you're looking for on your account, in my opinion. Sacreds could be better on one hand because of the points for events and tournaments, whereas Voids are better for the champions that are coming out of them. So yeah, in general, am I going to try to go for this? I'm still kind of on the cusp. I'm probably going to go for this Hothead Deck of Fate, but at the same time, I'm just like, it's a little bit challenging because the points aren't exactly 1-to-1. Because they ruin the amount of points you get from getting artifacts and accessories and soul stones, as I said, because they reduce the amount of points you're getting per win in dungeons, it's not quite 1-to-1. So for example, I've already spent roughly, I would say 1500 or 1600 energy, and I have about 1341 on the pizza points. So I'm getting around 80% out of the 100% I could be getting from a 1-to-1 ratio. Or, you know, of course that can go a little bit higher based on luck from the drops that you get from artifacts or accessories. But yeah, you're looking at close to a 1-to-1, a little bit less than a 1-to-1 ratio, which is a little unfortunate. Of course, it can go higher in some instances if you're very, very lucky. I'm just not getting super lucky right now from stage 20. We'll see how it goes this weekend. If you guys are going to go for them, be careful. We also have the Halloween event that I just dropped. Check out the video I just had for the Sanguinia Bloody Mary fusion that's going to be happening for next week. Are you going to be going for her? Are you going to skip her? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But be very careful. Be very mindful. If you're going to go for all these events, you could risk your chance at getting Leo. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on a video soon. Take care.